Wow, what a beautiful sight there. I'm out here at the coast doing a leadership retreat, and those right there are just the waves of the beach crashing onto the shore. It's quite noisy. I would have loved to do the video for you from there, but it's quite noisy, so I'm gonna do it from right within my room here. And beautiful morning. The room is a little bit dark, so I just put some light here. And very, very good morning to all of you. Thank you so much for joining me here on Reinvention Saturdays. My name is Benjamin Kamoye, and I'm gifted as a creative communicator. My mission in life is to help leaders reinvent themselves for impact and for income. And what that means is that I help leaders like you really to master your brilliance, to manifest that brilliance, and then to monetize it into the world. And that is the income and impact conversation that I help leaders engage in. And one of the reasons why I do Reinvention Saturdays is because I believe that you are your most appreciable asset. I believe that by adding value to you, you'll be in a better place. If you take action on any one idea that I have shared over the last couple of episodes, I believe we're probably now on episode 24 of the Reinvention Saturdays. I mean, it's going to serve you. It will shift your life in many ways. I mean, this is how I started my reinvention journey, by finding people that were willing to share resources from their journey, tips and secrets and ideas and strategies. And I began to take them on. And they have served me to where I am today. And I invite you to step in. Again, I always am for self-development, not shelf development. Don't just write notes and then file them away, but begin to ask yourself, what's one idea? What's one idea that I could take that could move me in the direction of my dreams? And as we talk about manifesting your brilliance, the question that I know most people ask, and I receive this a lot, through chat or email, and even through other forms of communication, is, I really want to make my dream a reality. What's blocking me? What's happening? And today's session is titled, How to Abort the Seed of Greatness Within You. Yes, how to abort the seed of greatness within you. And I want to share with you 3 ways that you can actually abort the seed of greatness within you. Now, this is not a session to help you kind of break down how to abort the seed, but really to raise your awareness to really know, whoa, these things I'm doing, they are going to abort the seed of greatness that is within me. This thing is not gonna take off. And so let's dive right into it. I have a session immediately after this with some of the leaders that are here with me, for the executive session. We're running to go to a full day of, leadership conversations. We'll be on a boat, on a dhow the entire day. We will go all the way to Shimoni, and from Shimoni we'll go and look at, snorkeling, looking at dolphins, the whole works, marine park. And as we are in the boat, we're going to have leadership discussions, deep leadership discussions in the deep. I like that. And so that's what's coming up. So I want to quickly share with you, add value to you, and then run into my day. So here are the 3 big ways that you actually abort the seed of greatness. And before we unpack the first one, here's the big idea. Do you consider that there is greatness within you? Do you? Because then if you do, here's the next question. Do you consider that greatness is a seed? It is not fully formed, it is a seed. And that seed needs you to do all that it is required for that seed to germinate and blossom into whatever you are created to blossom into. You see, all of us can cut an apple and we can count the seeds in an apple, but none of us can count the apples that are in one seed. And that is the sign of greatness. That right there is a hint of greatness. That when you're looking at one apple like this, one apple seed, you cannot tell how many apples are inside that. And inside those apples are other apple seeds. And you also can't tell how many apples will be in those apple seeds. That in that one apple is programmed a pattern for creating other apples. So today, as I share with you about how to abort the seed of greatness, one of the things that you need to embrace is that greatness has been deposited within us as a seed. And it is deposited right before mommy and daddy meet. It is deposited by God within you when you are still a concept in his mind. And as soon as you get into the conception stage, sperm meets ovum, and the conception process begins, you are known. You're not a foreigner, you're not a stranger, you're not an alien. Your every day is known, all your days are written down, every single day, how it's gonna be, it's there, boom. And there's a seed of greatness. There is a specific mission, assignment, purpose for you to be around here on earth. And within you is a seed of greatness. Now, that seed requires an environment. And so the first thing, when I say the awareness that your greatness is a seed, and lacking that awareness is one of the ways that you actually abort your seed, is because then you do not create a conducive environment for your seed. Remember, every seed has a programmed pattern. Tomatoes will produce tomatoes. Apples will produce apples. Oranges, oranges. Mangoes, mangoes. Maize, maize. And the list goes on. No single day, even if you put them side by side, will they confuse one another and one produces what the other produces. Never ever. There is a programmed pattern. So you as well, there is a programmed pattern. There is a programmed pattern of that which is within you for you to bring it forth into the world. And just that is the first big awareness that then causes you to step in and say, okay, so what is the seed that is within me? And what does it need? Is it a rice kind of a seed? It requires paddies of water? Or is it just an ordinary seed that requires to be on the soil and it's going to burgeon into a huge, tree? What is this that I am carrying? And what does it require? What is this that I'm carrying? And what does it require? That is what we don't do. Because as soon as you begin to grow up and, you begin to understand yourself, there are many people in life that you identify with and connect with and you love and you want to be like. They could be entertainers. You see them in places that are out there and you want to be like those people. And rarely do we go within to find who we are and what has been coded within us and what it requires in order for it to flourish. And before we even, celebrate our icons and our idols and we really love them, we're shipped into school. And as soon as we get into school, we're programmed that we are there to get education so that we can get a job, so that we can get a payment, so that we can pay bills, and we can continue the cycle. Get kids, pay for their education, so that they can also get a job, and so that they can also take care of themselves. We never pause to ask, what is within me? And that is the first way that you abort the seed of greatness. Because what happens, just like any other seed, if you leave it just outside on the soil and you don't provide the environment for it, you abort that seed. It just never manifests. It just never takes root. It never manifests whatever is within it. You just eat your mango, eat your oranges, eat your whatever, and just go and put the seeds outside there. They will dry up. We're made in the same way. You take yourself to school and just keep yourself in environments that starve your dreams, that starve your gift, that starve your greatness. No wonder people are just in jobs and they hate them. They're not happy. They're not fulfilled. They're in the wrong space. Yes, you may be breathing, because we're not like, hey, I'm not a maize seed. I'm a human being. And so I'll continue to live and breathe, but I will not manifest that which is within me. I have been reflecting on this in a big way the last couple of months, especially as I look at God's nature, and I look at trees, and I look at maize, I look at whatever, trees, anything that's just germinating and coming out of the ground. I'm big on flowers. I plant them, and I just love watching what they are doing. And since the command for this green vegetation to produce after its own kind, it has never stopped. Trees just come out of the ground as a small seedling, and as soon as they begin to grow, it gets to a place where maybe the tree branches into 2 huge branches. And it never worries about the fact that there may not be sufficient resources. It just keeps growing. And as soon as it gets into 2 branches, this branch maybe breaks into 5 other branches. And all of them are producing leaves. All of them are producing flowers. If it's a fruit tree, it's producing fruits. And they're growing leaves. I mean, there is no stopping. It will continue to go up and up and up, produce whatever it produces in the time that it's supposed to produce, and it never makes an excuse and says, you know my life, you know my background, you know where you know. If we could take that idea and really apply it to ourselves and as human beings, what is the seed of greatness that is planted, that is deposited within you? And what is the environment that it needs? What is the environment that it needs externally and internally? And the environment that the seed of greatness grows in is in the womb of thought. When we begin to become aware, of what could be possible through us. And that takes me to number 2. The second way to kill and to abort your seed of greatness is the lack of belief. The lack of belief in yourself. You see, as soon as you begin to have dreams and ideas of what could be, of what the possibilities could bring, of what the future holds for you, as soon as those ideas land in the womb of thought, subconscious mind, they are immediately ejected. And they are ejected by narratives, they are ejected by existing beliefs, existing assumptions, existing, values that do not serve where you want to go. Immediately you begin to think, oh, who am I to, my family has never, I am the first one who has done this. And when you begin to think about what you want to do and what you sense you could do, and this is a blip from your seed of greatness saying, hey, I could, this is who I'm programmed for. I could be this. As soon as you're sitting in traffic and you're driving towards this destination, or you're quiet by yourself and you just close your eyes and you see all the possibilities that could be, you immediately say, no, shut down. That lack of belief in yourself kills and aborts your seed of greatness. So when was the last time you sat down with yourself and you began to imagine? One of the faculties, the 6 powers of man, one of the faculties of our mind is imagination. It's a divine gift. It allows us to travel into the future and to see images and possibilities And why we're receiving those images is because there is something that's coded within us that is trying to tap us and give us a hint into who we could be, what we could have, and what we could do out here into the world. But because we are caged and we're shackled by the program, the patterns, and the beliefs from our tribe, we abort the seed. Say, no, I don't think I can do that. I don't know how to do it. No one in my family has ever done that. And we create excuses and we create reasons why we do not have it within us to do that thing. The next time, not even the next time, I'm going to challenge you right now to create dream time. And dream time is really where you begin to sit down and say, I've been having these ideas of becoming a musician, an artist. I've been having these ideas of starting this kind of venture. I've been having these ideas of solving this problem in society. The next time those ideas come to you, welcome them. Write them down. Take books and papers and just keep scribbling, keep downloading. And soon you will have a map that tells you your potential, that tells you you could be that, you could do that, you could create that, you could have that. And that's why we're having this conversation. It's about impact and income. Hello, my name is Benjamin Kamoy and I'm here to serve you. If you don't know how to go through that process, why don't you hit me up? reinvention@kamoye.com. I'm going to start a conversation with you and really help you get to the place where you unpack that which is within you. You gain the mastery of tuning into the frequencies and the messages that are coming to you about your greatness, about your possibilities, about your future, about the call that is on your life from the Creator. You see, the concept, as soon as it went into the stage of conception and then it was born, that concept must then materialize into its physical equivalent, something in reality. The same way that you are a concept in the mind of God, and boom, conception, you are turned into reality in your mother's womb. You are born. Happy birthday to you. Here you are. And so equally, there are concepts that have been put within you. And as they sit in the womb of thought and are refined, they must find a space where they can then be birthed and turned into their physical equivalent. Buildings, generators, these devices, technology, anything you see, vehicles, automobile, anything was a concept, and someone labored to turn it into its physical equivalent, so that it is something that we can touch like this and say, whoa, look at this. It was a concept in the mind of a man. And so, two things that we're talking about here, if you're just joining us: how to abort the seed of greatness within you. The one is the lack of awareness that you carry a seed within you. You have no clue. The thing stays there and it just dies. You gotta go back to the beginning of this session just to understand that concept. The second one is just disbelief, the lack of belief in self. Like, oh my goodness, you do not believe that you have it within you to bring forth that which is being communicated to you through the different faculties of the mind, through your intuition, through your imagination. You don't believe that that could be for you. And sometimes even opportunities are presented and you don't believe that could be it for you. The third one, and this is for people who maybe have already become aware that they have a seed of greatness within them. They have begun to take the steps to actually, bring it into reality. In other words, they believe that they can do this. And as they are in that journey, because they are bringing forth something, there's a receiving of signals and communication, and then the process of turning those into their reality. What they do is they do not obey. They do not obey. As they are in the process of creation, the instruction that they receive and the ask that comes to them to bring forth something is too huge for them to comprehend. And in that moment, they back off and they slam the brakes and they say, no, I can't do that. I can't proceed forward. No, I can't do that. The price is too high. We slammed the brakes. We abandoned the entire project, never to look at it again. And that seed dies. Same thing, when maize has started to come up and you denied what it requires, it begins to dry up. It begins to dry up. I remember the coaching journey that I've been on has been quite a journey. And so this may not necessarily be your journey. This was my process and it was perfect. It doesn't have to be yours. Yours is also going to be perfect in its own way. And I labored in the marketplace, seeking to establish my products and services, seeking to get my message across, seeking to serve leaders, seeking to earn the income that I knew I could earn, even as I bring impact into the lives of the people that I was working with. And it took me a good 8 years plus, just in the trenches, laboring with zero recognitions, few clients, little impact, little income. And I just kept going and kept going and kept going. And all this time, I knew there was a seed of greatness within me. I was watering it. I was staying in environments where that seed could be nurtured. I was getting mentors. I was getting coaches. I was signing up for certification programs. I was sharpening my edge. I knew what my message really was, and I stayed in that zone. And I always wrote down all these big manila papers. I'm a visual thinker, and so I wrote on these flip charts ideas upon ideas upon ideas. I still have them at my house, you know, all of these ideas, and I continue to write them down. And somewhere along that journey, it really became tough, because now I had burnt all the bridges of retreat. And the only thing I could do was continue in that path. And I just saw it was getting more bleak and more dark. And there are moments when I normally don't read newspapers, but there are days when I just look for a newspaper and I say, I think I'm gonna find a job. This is getting too tough. And my wife encouraged me. She said, keep on the path. I had business friends who told me, you paid a huge price over the years. Stay on the path. It's gonna yield fruit. What I also did is, besides just taking the newspaper to look for other jobs, is I began to look for what else could I do? What other business can I go into? Looks like this is taking its time. And I know this is my purpose, yes. But, whoa, it's taking long. I have a family. My son was at that point about 5 years then. He's starting to go into school. School fees is a story. My daughter is also getting bigger. Man, eish. And it's at that point that I said, you know what? I'm gonna keep on this one. I had business ideas that I had started, I had invested in, I had partners. I mean, I could have taken the whole energy in those businesses and they would have flourished and still made me lots of money. But they weren't quite my central purpose. I still had my advertising agency. I was like, yeah, maybe I could go and put my effort in that direction. But that's not where my fulfillment was coming from. And so I decided to stay the course. And we all get to those moments in our journey where we feel like we're going to abandon the dream. We're just going to neglect this seed. I'm not going to water it anymore. I've been watering it. Nothing is happening. Nothing is changing. I'm going to stop it. But if you know that this is the thing, if you know that, if you don't know how to know that, I'll be happy to help you through the process of clarifying what your vision is, conceiving that idea. How do you conceive that? I'd love to help you. You know, head out to reinvention@kamoya.com, send an email to me, and someone is going to be in touch with you, and we start a conversation together. But you've got to stay persistent. You've got to stay persistent. It's one of the key, success ingredients in any endeavor. You've got to stay consistent. And just stay on that path and continue to labor and continue to labor and continue to labor looking at your arrival point and knowing that's where I'm going, that's where I'm going, that's where I'm going. And don't let go. Stay on that path. Because then when you don't, you abort that seed of greatness. You abort that seed of greatness. If you're here, just click like, comment, and share. Don't leave without sharing something, commenting on something that you heard that really served you. And also, just click share. Let this message get to as many people as possible. This is why I'm doing this, so that many can hear. If I heard this kind of a message when I was on my journey, it would have done something for me, given me some hope or something. And so there we have it. Today, I'm really blessed and privileged to be in great partnerships and serving leaders globally. Globally. Yep. Really blessed in that way. And I share this not to impress you, but to impress upon you that you cannot afford to abort your seed of greatness. I don't think you have another seed that has the shot and the ability and the capacity to bring you the impact that will give you so much fulfillment and the income that will supply your needs in every way, not only to you, but also to the coming generation, so that you leave an inheritance to them. I don't think there's any other seed that can do that. And so articulating what is the seed of greatness and knowing that what I carry is a seed will help you from aborting it. Secondly, believing that you're the one who's been chosen, identified, selected to bring forth these ideas that you sense your greatness is communicating to you. Go forth. Go forth. Believe that you believe you're the one. Believe you have the resources. Believe you have the capacity. And if you find that that's a problem, place your seed in spaces where it will grow. Place your seed, in spaces of mentors, in spaces of coaching, in spaces of learning, books, YouTube, podcasts, whatever it is. We're in an information age. You will feed it. Just keep feeding it. And then thirdly, obey. Obey the next steps. I shared with you the example earlier. Trees don't get to a point where they rebel. All they know is to keep producing. All they know is to keep growing. All they know is keep producing leaves. And they continue to pick from the ground whatever they need. If we see ourselves as trees and just do that, how much could we achieve? But guess what? We're not trees. We're created in the image of God. We've had dominion. He's given us the power to manifest all that He has placed within us. And as we really gravitate towards partnering with Him, imagine what the possibilities could be. Imagine what the possibilities could be. So don't let your seed die. Develop that seed. Become aware. Recognize what it is. Really understand what it is. Believe you have got what it takes. And then thirdly, obey what it asks you to do. And just be like that tree. Just deliver, develop, and create that which is within you. Thank you so much for connecting with me here today. I'm delighted that you could come. Before you leave, share this video. Share this video. And for those of you who are watching on YouTube, kindly subscribe to my channel. Benjamin Kamoye, here to serve you, and delighted you could join me on Reinvention Saturdays. Join me next Saturday, same time, 9:30 a.m. East Africa, as I tackle another topic on really how to monetize your brilliance. And keep growing, keep developing yourself. Okay, gotta go. My executives are waiting for me. It's gonna be a great day. Deep in the sea, learning, leadership, growing. That's my passion. I'm excited to serve these leaders.